This is part 2 of my gameplay wish list for NBA 2K17. If you missed part 1, there's going to be a link in the description. There will also be an annotation on the screen. Let's just get right into it. I want to see that little hesitation move removed. You know what I'm talking about when you cross somebody over, when you got them leaning, and then you want to cut back the other way, you want to explode, and all of a sudden your player does this little hesitation dribble. If I wanted to hesitate, I would do the hesitation move. I don't want to get stuck and stay there and allow my defender to get back into play. If I got him leaning, I want to take advantage of the lean. Please remove that little hesitation move. I want them to remove the groups of crossover moves. Don't bundle the crossover with the in and out and the hesitation. Don't do that. We should be able to pick each individual move, because in a lot of these packages, there's always a move or two that you don't want. You want the crossover, but you don't want that in and out, or vice versa. You should be able to pick each and every one and fully customize your character. I also don't like the attribute categories. When we're upgrading our stats, you're forced to upgrade everything together. So if you're a big man, for instance, you can't have a good free throw and then not have a good three-pointer, because they're all going to upgrade at the same time. So in order to be a good free throw shooter, you have to be a three-point shooter. You should just be able to pick each, and that's how it used to be. You used to be able to go in there, raise up just your speed or just your quickness or just your lateral quickness. And you even used to be able to take away points. Let's say maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you raised up something and then later on you realize you're not really using that attribute. You used to be able to take it away and then use some of that to upgrade something else. Why take away features from us? Another thing that's missing is the game track. At the end of the game, you used to be able to go into the game track and see all the plays from the game. Everybody's layups, dunks, jump shots, blocks. They took this feature out of the game. It was great for my team. You could get replays when you're playing in my team. Let's say you get a crazy dunk. You could get some different angles after the game, of course. That way you don't have to stop in the middle of the game and annoy your opponent. At the end, you can go through and see all the plays over, look at the replays, get different camera angles, get thumbnails, or just get photos or clips for whatever you want to do. Why remove that feature? That was a great feature. Bring that back. I also don't want to get stuck in animations anymore, especially when you're playing defense. Let's say you're playing defense and then an offensive player comes into your area, but he's not the guy you're guarding. A lot of times the game will switch you right onto him. You have no choice. You just get forced into guarding him with an animation. Another example is, let's say somebody takes a jump shot and you're next to them. Now all of a sudden your player contests that jump shot. So in all these situations, when you do that, the guy you're supposed to be guarding is now open and the CPU is going to hit that guy. Guys online are going to do the same thing, and they're going to recognize this. They're going to hit your guy, and that's creating open layups, open jump shots. And it just shouldn't happen. You should never be forced into an animation. The only way you should switch on and guard somebody and be engaged in that animation where you're guarding them close, or if you're going to go ahead and contest somebody's shot, is if you actually press the button to contest their shot and you actually move over and hold down the lockdown defense or the aggressive defense to get in that stance and to bump them. It should never be forced on you. This also leads me into my next wish list item, which are fouls. A lot of times in this game, you will commit a foul when you didn't commit a foul. You'll be standing there in the paint or maybe in the post. You're not pressing any buttons. You're literally just standing there, and then all of a sudden, your player will grab the offensive player when he goes for a jump shot, and it's this foul animation. It happens all the time. They even have flagrant fouls this way. You'll sometimes flagrant foul somebody when you weren't even holding down the aggressive modifier to aggressively foul or to flagrant foul, to hard foul. But yet the game will count that as a foul. Then if you're on a fast break and somebody's coming from behind you and they create contact, they bump you in midair, there's no foul for that. Or if you cross somebody over, you're going to the paint, somebody's coming over to help, they're not a shot blocker, they foul you, but there's no foul there. There's animations where you get knocked down to the ground, all kinds of contact. The animation even shows contact, and there's no foul. It makes no sense. It's so easy to fix this foul situation. Next, I want the CPU to be more human-like. In this game, let's say you get a deflection, you tip a pass. The CPU, as soon as you tip that pass, they know exactly where the pass is going, and they react immediately. They start jumping and diving in that direction. I just wish that they would hesitate and think and try to guess where it's going to go and wait to see where the ball is going to deflect before they make their move. Be more human-like. I wonder how difficult that is to program into the game, but it's annoying when you tip a pass, there's a 50-50 ball, or even on a rebounding situation, and the CPU immediately starts jumping in that direction to get it. They have what I call the CPU advantage in so many situations. I wish the CPU advantage would just go away and make it more realistic and more fun. Same thing with the rebounding. The rebounding in this game still doesn't make any sense. You'll see guys, you're boxing them out, and then all of a sudden they're able to just trigger an animation and go right through you to get the rebound. There's not much interaction. Players aren't swimming around each other trying to box out, trying to better their position. There's still a lot of volleyball tap cheese, and this is it for part 2 of my wish list. You should never hear the following phrase: yeah, his ratings are good, but his release sucks. This has been a problem for years. There's too many players in this game that have releases that simply don't work. They're inconsistent in timing, and it just ruins the player. It's so bad that when guys go to